Good day, class. So, we've been able to cover the basic on Python. So now today class will be on control flow or flow control rather. Control flow in Python. So we all know the basics of individual instruction and that a program is just a series of instructions. So, but programming relies real strength isn't just running one instruction after another, just like an errand list. Based on how expression evaluate, a program can decide to skip instruction, repeat them, or choose one of several instructions to run. In fact, you almost never want a program to start from the first line of the code and simply execute every line straight to the end. So that's how where flow control statement comes in. So flow control statement can decide which Python instruction to execute under a particular condition, under which condition you actually gave it. So this flow control statement directly correspond to the symbols in a flow chart. So that's this we don't need that for now. All those are like an algorithm, but we do that. Let's move on to um boolean operators we should be using in our class, which we'll be using in the control flow class. Now let's talk about all these comparison operators that we'll be using for our control flow. We have the equals to sign, which is equals to is being used to compare two number to check if a number is the same as the other. And the equals to this double equals to sign is quite different from the single one. So this single one is just for assignment, just to assign. It's just an assignment operator to assign a value to another, as we did while declaring the variable. We use the assignment operator, which is a single equals to assign a value to that variable name. But in this double equals to, is just being used to make comparison, to check if a number is greater than the other. Like maybe you want to print maybe 2 is greater than, if you want to compare maybe 2 is equals to 2. So we won't use the single equals to, you use the double to make a comparison if this 2 is equals to this. So you get to know the context where you use all this, or how these things actually works. You don't just get it twisted. So we also have not equals to, which is like this. So not equals to. We also have less than, greater than, like we always been doing. We also have less than or equals to. We have less than or equals to, less than or equals to, like this, and greater than or equals to. Those are comparison operators in Booleans. They are comparison operators. It could also be called rational operators, being used to compare two values and evaluate down to a single Boolean values. So it's being used to compare two values. Let's assume I want to use this equals to now to make a comparison now. Let me comment all this. Let me comment them. Comment. So let's use the first equals to now. Which I want to make comparison between 42 and, if 42 is equals to 42 now. So I want to print it out. I'm using the print function. Using the print function now. See, it tells me it is true. Let's assume I change the value to 41. It tells me 42 is not equals to 41. I'm trying to check if 42 is equals to 41 now. You're trying to tell me that 42 is not equals to 41. So this is the context that whereby you use this double equals to make comparison if a number is the same as the other. So where to use if it is not equals to, now that's where the not equals to comes in. 42 is not equals to 41, so it will give you true. 42 is not equals to 41. Let's assume let's use 42 now and put equals to here as we did the other time. So it shows 2. Same thing for others too. Why doing for not equals to and same thing for equals to? So let's not get it twisted. Let's understand those basic syntax. Those are comparison operators. We are trying to compare different values. So let's move on. As I've said earlier, always note where to use your double equals to sign and your single. Single is for assignment and the double is just normal equals to make comparison whether two numbers or two values are the same to each other. So we all know about Boolean operator, which are true and false now. So we've actually talked about that during the basics. I talked about that. I told you guys about the Booleans, about the data types and the likes. So let's move straight to flow control, element of flow control. We have the condition and we also have block of codes. So the flow control statement often starts with a part called condition and are always followed by a block of code called the clause. You could call it a clause or maybe an indent, like indenting it like the way we've always been doing. So let's move on. Let's assume we have an instance like this. Maybe I want to make an if 2, I want to make if 2 is equals to 2 now. Always know to put this colon. Now say print you are right. 2 is equals to 2. Let's say they are the same. See, tells you this is a comparison. What I just did there, I indented it. This is the condition. As I've said, element of flow control, it always starts with a condition. This is the condition now I gave it. If 2 is equals to 2, this is for comparison, like to know if particular number is the same, and then followed by a clause, which is a block of code, followed by a block of code, which this is the block of code now, which is being indented. So always let's note that. That's how to write a simple condition statement. That's the condition. So lines in Python can be grouped together in blocks. So, and as I said, blocks begin with indentation increase. Block begin when the indentation increases. Yeah. So, and the block can contain other blocks. So you can tell when a block begins and ends from the indentation of the line. There are 3 rules for blocks. So as I've said, the block begins when the indentation increases. The block can contain other blocks, and the block ends when the indentation decreases to 0 or the containing blocks or to a containing blocks indentation. So let's move on. That's just theoretical aspects. So So let's start with the first flow condition statement, which is the if statement, or the if statement plus rather. So it's actually the most common type of flow condition statement. If statement is the most common. So let's note that. Can call it always starts with an if keyword. The if statement starts with an if keyword, then a condition, this is the if keyword, this is the condition, then a colon, this is the colon. That's how to make an if statement. Then after that there will be an indentation starting. This is on the next line. This is the indentation. Then this is the indented block of code. Now see, this must be double equals to. So don't always make that same mistake. So let's run it now. It says what? So we needed to make a condition, like initialize the condition. If a variable of name like this for Adegoke, which is Adegoke. So we'll run it now, you see. So you see, it prints it out. This is why it was showing error the other time, was that we did not initialize, like we did not create a variable name which we put here in our condition, then assign if we are trying to check if this name is equals to this. That's what you are trying to do here. So let's move on. I don't know if you get the point. Let's assume I needed to try for age now. Let's say I have age equals to 14 or maybe 12, and I say if age is equals to 12, then print you are getting, yeah, now what should I, you are, yeah, can just say, let's just print any message. Maybe you are a year older now, now. That was because we initialize it, and it's trying to make a comparison. If you see here, we use a single equals to here. That was when we're trying to, like, this is just for assignment. We created a variable name and then use this to assign it to a value. But when we're making our condition, we are trying to make a comparison if this age is the same thing as this 12. So when trying to make a comparison, if you use the double equals to sign. I've said this earlier, so let's note that. To else statement now, else, which is another statement, control flow. It can be optional. If statement can be optional, be followed by an else statement. So that's the hierarchy. After the if statement, then the else statement. Sometimes it might be if statement, else if, than else. So it depends. So to write an else statement, it must contain an else keyword. This is for else statement now. Else statement. Let me write a comment. The previous one was on if. This one is on else now. So to write an else statement, you must start with an else keyword, which is this keyword, which is this, then with a colon like this, the colon. So here now I want to make a condition. In what we did here, up here, I want to say if age is equals to 12, you are a year older. Else, I want to make an else statement. Else if the age is not 12, that's the meaning of else. Else if the age is not 12, or the age is not the same as the value we gave it there, then you should print out. If you notice, the keyword does not take, the else keyword does not ask any condition, does not take any condition. Always note that. So and I'll say print you are still a baby, you are you or you are, let me just say you are an adult, or you are an adult. Let me just say, just to for an illustration, sir. You are an adult. So you know that here now, if this statement here, if this condition here is true, this one will be executed. Else, if this condition is false, this will be executed. The else statement will be executed. So the else statement is always true whenever the if statement is false. The else statement will be executed whenever the if statement is false. The if condition you gave your if statement is false. I don't know if you get my point. Your if condition, whenever it is false, that's when your else statement will be executed. So now let's if I run this now, it will still print the same thing. See, okay, they needed to be on the same line because they are same conditions. Sorry, they needed to be on the same line. You see, you are older was still printed. But let's now assume that my age is not 12. Let me change this age here to maybe 14, and I run it. The else will be printed. See, it says you are an adult, because the condition here was if age is equals to 12, you should print this. Else, when age is not 12, you should print this. So you get the logic now. So that's how the else statement works. Whenever the if statement is false, this was false, that was why the else statement was able to run. The if else statement was true when, so you get now. So let's move on. If you have any question, put it down in the comment section. I will respond to it. Let's do one more example. Let's assume I want to make a comparison between the length of a number of a age, rather of a name, rather let me use name. If name, or if length of name, the length function we are actually taught you then. So we are now applying it now. We are not just doing all those things for fun then. We are applying everything, every damn thing we've learned on the basics. We are applying it as we are going, we are using them. So that's how you get to know how to use them, and it will become part of you. So if length of age is equals to maybe 4, let's assume I declare a variable of name here, and I assign it to maybe Ade, which is a string. My length here now, the length of my age now here is 3. So this condition here will be false, then this condition here will be true. So this one will be executed. Let me change the message here that I will print. Print if message is equals to 4. If our message is equals to 4, you are wrong. You are wrong. Else, you are correct. If I run this now, see, it runs this because when the condition here was false, so it moved down to the second statement, which is the else keyword. So here the condition was true because when this one was false, this one will be true automatically. That's the condition for else statement. If the if statement is false, then the else statement will be true. You get the logic now. So I think this will be the end of today's class. I will send an assignment now that you guys will work on. This will be the end of today's class. Assignment will be sent to the group. If you have any question, feel free, do not hesitate to just tell me on the comment section or come to my DM, ask as many questions as you like. And do not forget to always make research. And as also, I actually want to give you guys an assignment. I need you to tell me the difference. Okay, that will be a part of the assignment I will be giving you guys. Difference between statement and expression in program. Difference between a statement and expression. Difference between a statement and expression in program and in Python rather. So that will be the end of today's class. Have a nice day. Bye.